This is John Video 13, and I thought I'd show you guys a little better of what I was trying to explain to you yesterday about throttle setup and everything. Now, this is what we got. Me and Aaron, we use this is off his old bicycle, or not bicycle, I guess it was a mountain bike. The name of it should be somewhere. It's covered in water. Give me a minute. The hell does that say? What the heck happened? Okay, there we go. There you go. That's the name of it. But anyways, what I was trying to explain yesterday was this is how we're supposed to be doing this. Is well, this is what I come up with. Was since the throttle or the clutch is on this side, can't really do much in terms of anything, because normally on tractors there's always a clutch right here. Hence Rouser II with his clutch right there, and how I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm wearing bell bottoms, trying to bring the 70s back. But anyways, what's interesting about this is I don't know, we're just trying to figure out how this would work. Basically, like I said, the throttle setup is almost like one that's on Rouser II, and I'll show you. You see, it's got that same basic setup that we're going to use, except the running board curves up, and that's basically where Aaron bolted that, and then he's got a bolt in there. Now that bolt there, that screw, if you unscrew it up, it will, like if you unscrew it, it will come up and it will stay, because it's long enough that if you go to a high throttle, it'll stop that. But we have it stock, just set like that. We can put another screw in here and do the same thing, so it would make more sense. Now with this, plus we have a little spring here for the throttle return. Now for this is what I was trying to explain to you guys. Was with my tattoo, didn't really turn out too well. What are we gonna do for a beginner tattooer or whatever? Thing got stuck. But anyways, this is what I was thinking, was something like this. Cut it and put it down over here. Then that way we'd have room so that we would got the clutch. Now, you're probably thinking, I might get in the way for if we have to make an emergency stop. Yeah, it might, but that's the risk we're willing to take. Plus, worst comes to worst, it's called a key shutoff. Also, you can just get up off the tractor, because we still got the safety switch on the back of it for the seat, and that's why it sometimes doesn't run, is because I don't know what's going on, but there's a loose connection with that safety wire. So it's the reason why the seat's in such a bad shape, because I decided to do that, so did Aaron, and we busted the hell out of the seat. This seat was in great shape. I mean, it only had a little rip here and here, and I covered it, and now look at it. Who knew that one day, or should I say 20 minutes of putting this thing through the mud, you ruin the seat. Plus the tire was flat when we did that, which gave it more traction. I'm surprised it didn't come off the bead. I wish this tire was flat though. Or is it? It's a little soft. But that would have gave us more traction. Well, anyways, needless to say, that's supposed to be what I'm going to come up with in terms of throttle setup for this thing. So it's not bad. I'm going to show you guys how the 16 is doing in the garage. Just give me a second. Well, here's the 16, and as you can tell, it's torn apart. Now I'm cleaning it, and I'm gonna paint it. And we took the heads off. I mean, here's one of them. Cleaning up the heads and stuff. This one is for this side. So as you can tell, wish it was a little bit cleaner, but I was thinking taking the heads off of the 18 and putting them on the 16. Now, don't think it's very smart, but do some more research into that and see how it would work. I don't know if it would give any more performance or do anything to the sound, but it's a basic same size block they use, except I believe the 18 is a little bit bigger, but not by much. Could be the same size block, I don't know. But I'm just going by what my interpretation is on these things, because they all look the damn same to me. This is going to be my exhaust. I am taking the short pipe off and I'm putting a 6-inch on instead of a 4-inch. I got the same thing on the other side. So when this thing lets off on gas, it's gonna sound pretty nice. This is your governor. Now, this is your stock spring where your governor goes. If you want to adjust the RPMs to go higher, you go up this way. This goes up to 3,500 RPMs, and I believe this is like 37 to like 39, and then this one is 4 to 4,100 RPMs. So, you guys wondering how that works, just adjust your spring, or if you want to be, or if you got balls, just hook it up to the, just hook it up to here, your throttle cable or whatever. Make sure there's a return spring. But you got open throttle. You can keep all the guts and internals and stuff like that, because that's, you'd be smart to keep that. I don't know anybody would be dumb enough to take it off, but that's, your full throttle right there for taking off your governor. Now, am I going to go this way? I don't know. But if I do, I could risk blowing the engine. But if I go this way, or that, or whatever, I don't blow the engine. It'll only give it so much, and that's it. So, at least I believe. We'll see how this thing plays out. I'm still messing around with it, but this is how the 16 is doing so far. Everything seems to work. Everything seems to be clean. The engine has the exhaust valves seem to have been replaced at one time on both sides. Everything seems to wheel. Look at this. So I can't take the flywheel off, but I don't need to anyways. This thing's in good shape. But it seems to work pretty good. As you can tell. You can hear the compression in it already. I gotta stop doing that because I'm gonna get oil leaking everywhere. Didn't drain the oil out. And no, that's not from this engine. That's from Aaron's Kohler 10 horse. He's been working on the Cub Cadet 102. He's still working on that. He's gonna have to put that on pause at the moment. I'm not gonna tell you guys why, but you guys will get more pictures and stuff every sometime. Well, I think I can't really do much for video shooting there because I don't think his father would be too kind about doing videos in the in his garage. So, anyways, this is how everything's doing so far with all this. Where's the other? Where the heck is the other head for that? I don't know where the other head went. Well, anyways, I don't know if I ever told you guys. Maybe I did. I was switching the intake as well. Like I'm skinny enough. There we go. Yeah, lost some weight. Not bad. He left his coil here for his Cub Cadet. Nice. Anyways, that's the original intake for this engine. Now it's cast steel, I believe. I'm not using that. I'm using the aluminum intake that's off of a 18, and I'm putting it on here, so make things a little more interesting. Should have the same kind of amount of flow, should have the same kind of compression. If not, then I guess we gotta retune it. Now as for a carburetor, I'm putting the one on that's from my room. I've had sitting in there for I don't know how many years, because it's nice and clean and nothing's wrong with it, as opposed to the original one, which is right here. It's getting all rotted up and rusted and whatnot. Now you're probably wondering, what did we use to clean off the heads and everything and scrape it off? I used a carburetor parts cleaner. They're like $7-10 a can or something like that. But I'm not gonna lie, it's good stuff. I highly recommend it, especially if it's a gunk product. I'm not getting paid or anything or advertisements from it. I just think it's a pretty damn good product. So, you know, if you guys want to clean your heads or anything like that on these twin cylinders, I just wanted to tell you guys something. On these twin cylinder engines, you should at least take the heads off every so many hours. And I can't remember how many hours it is, but after so many hours, you should take the heads off of these and clean them. A lot of people don't do that. They abuse them, and then they eventually get tired, then they start to smoke, and then they're garbage. With this engine, I'm fortunate enough it doesn't smoke. It's had the exhaust valves replaced in it, and there's no play at all within the pistons. So that means the piston rings are still good. It doesn't leak oil, surprisingly. So I got myself a pretty good engine, and all I did to get the engine was take a Mordec off of a tractor. Who would have thought? But yeah, as for what I was saying before about the throttle setup, is that's my idea. And I'm hoping that's going to work. I'm going to try and come out here and cut that one piece of pipe off, and then I got to talk to Aaron and see what he's going to do, because he's usually the one that drills everything. Since he's an electrician, he's got all the tools and fandangled stuff and what you want to call it. So, well, not like we have everything, but he seems to be pretty good at it where I stutter. So, as for this thing, I went and got paint the other day, and I'm taking the color scheme off from yellow and black, and I'm changing it to key lime green. Now I wanted to do lime green, but unfortunately I can't buy lime green in a can. At least all the places I've looked. Walmart, I'm Canadian, so Canadian Tire, Part Source, AutoZone, Performance Improvements. I've looked at all these places, no lime green. So that can suck my ass. So I'm just doing the key lime green. It's gonna be more of a creamy looking, like lime, or like it's gonna be like a creamy looking kind of like lime green kinda. I don't really know how to explain it. I'm not too like, how am I gonna put this? I'm not too fond of the color at all. I got the can in the house and I forgot to bring it outside, so I can't really show you. But I think it's not that bad. So I don't know. We'll see when time comes and when I paint it. The only thing that's going to be a kicker is I'm going to have to say goodbye to the yellow tape, which looks pretty good on this. If I find some lime green tape, well, then I'll be just kicking my heels. So anyways, that's my idea and what's been going on. This is John VDM13 signing off. Take care, guys.